Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my craft room. It is Sissy from Sissy's Cards and Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Eastern Ontario, Canada. So I was browsing online today and I saw, what do they call the quick little videos from On Why Go Stamping, and she does some pretty cool cards. I was following it. I thought, you know what? Let's copy or case that card that she did, because it was something. One, I need a birthday card. Two, I wanted to, and I mentioned using this new Bloom's Boutique paper that also comes with. You can buy the whole suite, but I didn't want the stamps. I did get some ribbon. I did, I've kind of got a few of the things, but I thought we'll use these scallop bloom dies and the Bloom's Boutique specialty paper. So it's all the in colors, and it's specialty because it's got the gold in it. And there is multiple designs. Oops, I've cut some of it up. Here we've got our golden glow and the crisp cantaloupe, hydrangea hue. We've seen that, the peaceful pine, and hydrangea hue, and there's just ever so slight. So the A side has the gold, the B side doesn't. And then these ones as well. So very beautiful. With this card, she used the crisp cantaloupe. That's what I'm going to actually just do what she did, with maybe a couple differences. Oh, I don't need this. But these are the ones that I'm going to use. So all of these lovely crisp cantaloupe colors. I've cut everything out already, with the exception of the die. We're going to use, obviously, our new in color inks. Not sure about using the golden glow. We're definitely going to need to use the peaceful pine for something here. And then I think I might be using the ribbon. So we'll check this out. Okay, so this is a fun fold. I grabbed a scrap piece because I need it. We're going to need the circle. I had to do a circle punch out of my 2 3/8 circle. If you have one a little bit smaller, it might work a bit better. There's an option. Okay, so what I did is I took a sheet of crisp cantaloupe and I cut it to 5.5. So I've got this piece left over we're going to come back to. Then this folds over like this. There are some scores. What was the score? It was 1 3/4, 6, and 9.5. So you fold basically the half one, and then these other two are going to fold it like this. So we're just going to give them a good burnish like such. Okay, so just again burnish that, and then the card basically is going to open like this. So the wider band here, and then it opens up like this. Okay, so a nice little fun fold. There's going to be a few more things in that. I've created it so this main piece is where we can write our sentiment, and then it's going to close like this. You could put your sentiment piece here and another piece of DSP here, but this is how I've chosen to do it. Then it's as simple as placing your, I'm going to wait and put that on after, placing your DSP on. Sorry, I've got my phone just a dingle in here. My So I love you, family, if you're listening to this. My niece graduated from high school. My nephew graduated from public school. 2 nephews graduated from public school this week. So there's a big family chat going on with everybody sharing baby pictures and stuff. It's so cute, and I'm enjoying it. But it's just like constant dingle with all the family chiming in and sharing and commenting, and it's so sweet. But I will catch up on all that in a minute when I've done this. Okay. So that's going to go on there like that. We're going to fold this over. We're going to put this one here like this. And again, one of the things we want to do is think about all of the different textures and dimensions that we have with the card. And so just having these different patterns is what our texture is. And we're just going to add that in. These are basically 1/8 of an inch smaller to make that. And I'll show you because I've already made one. And then we're going to use this piece here. I made one, a birthday one, and I jazzed it up. It's quite a bit different. A lot of work, I won't lie, but I think it turned out quite nice. And I'll share that afterwards. And I matted each one of these as well. So that made it quite snazzy. At least that's what I think. Okay, so really that's the card. Simple, simple. But I said we were going to use the Scalloped Blooms dies. So if we pull these out, felt that the 1, 2, 3, 4th from the middle, or 1, 2, 3, 4th. So the middle one, literally the middle one, we're going to cut that out of Crisp Cantaloupe. And part of the reason I decided on that was because it just fits on that piece that I cut out. So I'm just going to snip this off. And we're going to run that through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So yeah, big year for graduations. The two, so my one nephew and niece, are in the same family. My poor sister, I don't know how she's managed this week, and knowing which ends up, it's just must have been crazy with the two of them graduating, and then you add in the third one's home from her second year of university. It's a busy time. I remember that. We're well beyond that right now. Okay, so I'm just cutting this. It's going to pop through the other side. There we go. Okay, I'm going to need that again in a second. And now these scallop dies, every one has stitching. So you can see it has stitching, and then the next one is just a plain cut, which is fun. It really would give some added depth, right? Okay, so then we're going to just put this on here like this. This is where I said if you had a bit of a smaller circle die, it might look just a little bit better because it will be less of a circle. I could have used a bigger scallop die, but then I would have had to cut into another piece, and I really didn't want to do that. Now, thinking aloud though, I do have the Spotlight on Nature dies. These are discontinued, however, so that is a bit problematic. I could just cut that down a little bit and get that small one there. Do you know what? I think I like that idea. Bear with me on that. And I really like the way these will lines will radiate out of the middle. Now, that said, let me double check something before I start changing my mind. Yeah, that'll work. I want to use the happy birthday from the Cutest Crew. So I just wanted to make sure that was going to fit. Oh my goodness, I need a much bigger area to work on. My desk is just such a crowded little area. What's your craft space like? Do you have a nice big organized room? Do you have just a corner in maybe your bedroom or your living room? or your dining room? Or do you have just, you know, one of those nice, what do they call them? The big, oops, I got fans blowing stuff around here. What are those closets called that people will have everything in? You just open it up and there's like cupboards and drawers and stuff. A lot of people I know have those. They make those and they work really, really well. Okay, so I think that will be a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. Just giving it a little bit smaller, and then that definition on that too, I think is really quite nice. Okay, so let's stamp on it before we go much further. And it's this cutest crew, and I've been playing around with this too. Maybe copying some casings, some stampers, demonstrators. You know, when you get a new set and you're just kind of like, what do I do? And you're kind of thrown for a loop and not sure how to do things, then you know what? Just check out and see what some other people are doing, because that'll help get your juices flowing and figure things out. All right. You know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this little flower stamp as well under here. And then I'm going to do the happy birthday just above it, just to kind of bring that together. All right. It's kind of a small block to do this on, but let's risk it here. Okay, I'm going to use my memento. And I'm just going to put this on there like that. Perfect, perfect. And then pull it off. Wash my stamp. And now to color that, I'm going to get out my markers here. Where I don't have the coordinating colors in blend markers, so I'm going to use my blender pens, and we're just going to do maybe the crisp cantaloupe, golden glow, and get a spare piece of scratch paper here. I like to just scratch and make sure that my pens are good. So I squeezed that, and I'm just going to pick up some of this ink here, and I'm just going to put it on here. Remember, don't go over a whole lot because it will kind of muck up your paper. All right. And this is the very vanilla paper here. Okay, so I have the crisp cantaloupe. I'm just going to pause on that peaceful pine for a second. Do this golden glow. Just get these two little flowers on the end of this golden glow. Just, oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, maybe it's too late. Let's try. I actually have the golden glow pen here. I've got it started, so let's just try this here and see what that, just give it a little sparkle. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a little bit off. I'll just go heavy on that one there. There we go. I like that. Glad I thought of that. And then we will take and do our peaceful pine just for those leaves. I'll just get a quick little, and this is kind of like the watercolor, so it's not going to be completely in line and everything, but it just gives that nice little jazz there. You can see how much ink goes on these pens, but then you just have to pull it off. Okay, Perfect. Now, while I have this ink out, I want to put the blender pen back. Again, I can't say how handy these have come in, because when I don't have the color blends, I always have something to go on. Okay, so what I want to do here is I don't have, I actually ran out of the Peaceful Pine paper. So what I'm going to do is actually just kind of create some here. So you can see I cleaned off my brush. I'm just going to pull the ink up. And I want to put it on fairly heavy here, so I'm not worried about coming off, like pulling off and coming onto the paper like I would be if I was coloring something in. Trying not to blotch it somewhere, so keep it moving, and putting it in circle, doing circular motions works well. But what we were thinking of doing, or what I wish I could know her name. I should have figured it out first. I apologize. But she put some leaves on her flower, and of course we're going to do that, so you'll see it. And I thought, you know what, this is the way of doing it. Now I am on the very vanilla, so it's going to be a different kind of shade than what we would have before. Just clean that off a bit. Okay. So if I'd gone on white, it would be the true shade, and just a little bit different shade here because of the very vanilla. But let me put these back before I forget it. Okay. Happy birthday, little flowers. The Cutest Crew has been so much fun to play with today. I've had a rough day. I don't know, this rash is driving me around the bend. Actually, no, I don't want to put that on yet. I want to do these leaves. And so I've just been struggling all day and not wanting to do anything. So I just kind of sat up here and just played. And then I thought, you know what? I wanted to do a video. So let's just come on and do a video showing kind of what I learned. Now, when these first come off, they're very stuck on there. Okay, so these are just little leaves. We're just going to put them on the green that we created. And with it being kind of smeared around like that, it's going to give it a nice little texture. So it might even be better than just doing the paper. We'll say that anyways, because I forgot to order more colored in-colored cardstock. And I used a lot of the green in some of the cards I did. Now, after I'm done, I'll probably go off and find a bunch. Okay, that is done. Stick that back. Put that away. What I did with the envelope, I have no idea. No idea where the envelope went for that. I'll find it. Okay, so there, I might just keep that in my scrap bin. I have a little bowl here. It's actually just a bowl I got at the dollar store. And I'd used it in the kitchen, but this is just a cute little bowl. And I thought, you know what, I'll just keep it up here. And all those little bits of paper, I just tuck into it, and it just works right. All right, so now the other thing with this, because I cut it, she used this as a belly band, and I'm wondering if I can still use it as a belly band. So let me just cut it down to an inch. Why is that not wanting to be straight? Okay, because I cut it. Let's see, will this work? Hold your breath. Crush fingers, crush toes. Let's see if we can kind of get this. I'm going to get it straight. And when you're making a belly band, you don't want to score exactly, because then it's not going to, you don't want it really tight, because you need to slide it off and on. And look at that. Looky. I can just stick that right on there, and that will make up for that piece that I missed, which kind of makes sense, right? Because that's where I took it from. Okay, so what we're going to do is these are going to go on, and then I think I'm just going to stick these little leaves in here like that. So that's the goal. See how we go. Let's stick some glue on here. All right. Center that just like that. It'll look so cute. And then I think I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on either side here, so I don't worry about where I'm getting glue or not getting glue. And then just centering that on there. Hold it for a while though, so you don't have that happen. Now I did think of doing something else there. Ooh. Maybe let's take it off. Because I said the ribbon, right? I wanted to put ribbon on. Now this is my doing here. But I thought I'm just going to run a piece of tear and tape along the back. And instead of using cardstock, we'll just use some ribbon to embellish this. But I'm just going to go along the back of this. Let's put those leaves up out of the way. Right now. Just kind of center it. Because we have done multiple types of cardstock, and I could use cardstock again, especially one that I've already used. That would be fine and dandy. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just thought this ribbon will soften a little bit. And I'm always about the bows. I like to make the bows. So I thought if I could have this run across here, and I will use some tear and tape. So I do have that bit of glue that's holding that down, and then I'm just going to throw tear and tape on here to help hold it down and also adhere our card. So a good burnish on that. And then I don't want to cut my ribbon yet. Well, I was thinking of tying it over here, making a bow. Maybe just even a knot. We'll see if this works. I might regret it. But you don't know unless you try, right? Okay, so the tear and tape now is going to basically be, that's going to adhere that for me. And I think we're just going to end up with a knot. I'm just going to tie that so I don't have to worry about it. Roll it back up and stick my elastic on there like that and tuck it away. But to help with my tying, I think I will put a little piece of tear and tape right here as well. Sorry, just losing my voice. I don't know. It's just been a rough go. Let me say, don't get into wild parsnip. It is not a pleasant thing. And make sure your dog doesn't get into wild parsnip, because that's how I got it. Was my doggy got into it. inadvertently. She just loves to roll, and we didn't even know it was in our yard, but it was. And then I got it. Well, you know what? I think I might have done that too close. You guys should have hollered at me saying, stop. Let's see if I can rejig that. Just pull that down a little bit. I'm going to pull these off. Did I do something crazy here, or is this going to work? What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. You think I'm nuts or not? Okay, center that on like that. All right, now let's just give this a tie. And I think, like I say, I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Just to give a little bit, maybe like a bow. One of these bows. Yes, no, it's going the wrong way. You know, just a knot. Just a knot will be fine. If I can kind of have it going away from that. Not my best, but I think we'll do the trick. Definitely shows what I wanted it to show. Okay, so we're going to just stick these little guys in here, and I'll just turn them over and stick some glue on them. I think I'm only going to use 3, 2 on one side and 1 on the other. We'll see what that looks like. So glue there, glue there, glue there. This is what you call the detailed dies of a set, right? They don't cut out anything from the stamp set. Oops, 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 oops. So I got glue on that. Now let's just go with it then. It wasn't the plan to put them there, but once I got glue on that, I didn't want to renege on it. And then we'll put that there. How's that? Just gives a little bit of color. And really, can you tell that that wasn't Peaceful Pine cardstock? Sorry, I can't figure out how to use my... Okay, so now the inside of the card. As I said before, you could put cardstock in here. That would be beautiful and work well. But I think I'm just going to add this here. And we'll just write our sentiment piece in there. And that would be a good spot. Oh, I've got some... oh, you know what? I'm thinking now. I'm thinking. Scary, isn't it? I could use a bit. Oops, dropped my headset there. Okay. Let us just cut a piece. So I have this piece left over. Let us cut a piece for that. Okay, so our card is 5.5. I'm just going to go 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So I have my inset there. That is 2 inches. Yes. So let's do just under 2 inches for this. And just under that 5 1/8. 3/8. Let's just kind of make it a little bit smaller. Let's see how that works. Like that. Okay, thoughts on that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide that up to the edge, making sure these are equal on the end. Slide that up to the edge, take my hole punch, and I'm just going to go kind of in the middle here and get just a little nick out of it. And then we're going to make like a spot to put, whoa, they just came flying, didn't they? A spot to put a gift card holder. Look at that. Oh, genius. Not really, but now when you're doing the gift card holders, only get your glue on the edge, or even better yet, use some tear and tape, and then you've got lots of room in the middle to put your, actually, I'm wrong. I'm right. But for this piece, I don't want to do that. I want to do glue all the way around, because this is just for pretty sake. So there we go. Just a pretty sake. Then the other part we need to just glue. I mean, you could make it double, I guess, but the DSP is kind of thin, and I don't think that would work. Okay, so now this is where you're just going to do an edge around like that. Perfect. And then we'll just put this right up to the side like that, if you can see what I'm doing here. And now that's just a spot. You can stick a nice little gift card to go in there. So they can, or a letter, or, you know, with all these pictures that are going on with the school and stuff, maybe it's a picture. And because I did this lovely little picture here, let's replicate that here. And what inside sentiment do we want? So I guess have the best day, right? Happy birthday, have the best day sounds just fine and dandy. And then we will use those flowers again. So there's the flowers, and have the best day. Oh, this is turning out lovely. All right, so we'll quickly go through this again, and I will remember to just color those Golden Glow flowers with the Golden Glow sparkly stuff. What's it called? Can't think of what it's called. And then have the best day. Okay, tap it around. Make sure it's all inked up. I don't like those edges on there like that. And center it right on there. Just like that. I'll clean those off in a minute. Let's just do our coloring here. So, quite quick, easy. We're at 30 minutes. So if I hadn't have rejigged things a little bit, I probably would have been done earlier, but I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, so just the crisp cantaloupe in here. And that big flower. Like that. Okay. Ink back. And then we're going to do the green for the leaves. Just make sure that's clean. And then just put some green in here, that peaceful pine. There's a couple lines here that are just kind of like squiggly lines, and I think they're just for color or a little bit of extra pizzazz. So I'm not going to touch them. And then we're just going to come in here and put this Golden Glow right there. Oh, looky, isn't that cute? Okay, so there's my inside piece. Now, there was, or there is rather, in the stamp set, The Cutest Crew, there's some little butterfly cutouts. And I have done that today with some gold foil, and it looked really sweet. So that would be something we could put on the card to embellish it. I think I'm going to just use the in color pearls that I have, just because the flowers are kind of a lot. And you know what? Maybe I don't even need that. Maybe I don't need it. Now, the one thing is when you use a belly band, the card kind of does look a little bit bare until you get the belly band on. And you just want to bend it slightly and just weasel it on ever so gently. The more times it goes on and off, the better it will go. But you can see here just how I kind of smush it a bit. It makes it a little bit easier to go on. And that's why you don't want to fully secure it or score it, because it would be too tight. But there we go. So we have this cute little belly band fun fold card. So that comes off. Open it up like that, and we made it into gift card holder. So sweet. And you could put another piece like that, but that's also part of the reason why my belly band is just a little bit tighter now, is because I put that extra cardstock in there. So do that before you put your belly band on if you are going to case this card. Okay, so that's the one that we've just done. This is the one, and I did an envelope to match, and I use with the Delicate Dreams. And the belly band here is actually just a ribbon. I really like this ribbon, but it's no longer available. And I used a stamp set that, again, is no longer available. But with the Delicate Dreams, I cut that flower out. I used 2 sizes of the blooms, and I did one I just kind of stamped on with a background stamp. I cut some of this out. This is the vellum that I've colored with the blends. Added some more die cuts on. Opens up, and you can see inside I actually put some designer series paper stamped, and then used, and again, another stamp from that same stamp set. So I have got my lovely cards here. Now with this belly band, though, it's very delicate because of putting these pieces on. So when I give it to the recipient, I'm going to have to make sure she knows to be very cautious with it. But actually, I kind of designed it so it would sit like that. So it kind of added that flower to the base of this background here. So let me know what you think. Decorated the envelope, as I said. I think that just takes it to the next level. And then playing with the cutest crew, I also followed somebody's cards. I'll have to find her. She's a demonstrator in BC. I can't think of her name right now either, but I will try to link it at the bottom of this video. But cute little card for that cutest crew. I was trying to figure out how to use it, and I thought this was just adorable. And then inside I just did sending love and did that footprint. And then she did another one that I thought, you know what, that is sweet. I need, a few birthday cards this month. And I just love the colors of it. So I kind of cased it, and you can see here I took those little butterflies used 2 years ago. This was the in colors, and this was designer series paper from the Sips and celebration Sips or something. Basically what the suite was. Used those cute little birds. Used a die from the Filled with Sweetness set. So this die here is what I used, and just cut it off. And again, sweetest crew. And then inside did that same flower there, but I colored it with blends with coordinating colors. So just thought that was sweet. And like I said, I cased all of those, basically all 3 of these cards today. Got the juices flowing, and I'm sharing them with you. Thank you for joining me. Have a good evening, and see you soon.